bump up. Bump up, bump up, bump. Ah. Bop a doop boop boop a doo. Okay, button time. Oh, we gotta refresh the chat. Refresh. It refreshes. Ah. There we go. Poussey. Bare Bottom Branton says Poussey. You know, the trick is that you let the intro go for a little while, because then we don't get immediately demonetized from reading the chat out loud. You know what I mean? It's a reality. It's a reality that we all are. It's a bed that we're all sleeping in. It's a bed we made. It's not 69 anymore, guys. How many members do we have? I don't even know. We should check. YouTube membership is way down. We should get more YouTube members. That's what we should get, not less, but we have less. Where's that button? There's a button around here somewhere. Oh, we have 30. We have 30 members. It's not good. It's not good. It's bad. We only have 30 members. Yep. It's 30. We don't have 30. Or we don't have 69. Hold on. Let's change this. 30. There you go. Patreon is actually correct. I looked at that the other day. I looked at that on, what, Saturday? Here we go. Is that the button? Yep, 118. 118 is the same. YouTube, people just dropping off on fucking YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, they're dropping off. Probably something to do with people paying annual memberships, would be my guess. That one's declined. That one was declined. Multiple declines in here. Oh, Chris was declined. Let's go to the next page. Declined. Declined. Paid. Declined. Paid. Declined. Well, you know how it is. It is what it is, man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you guys want me to make content full time, we have to figure out how to pay for it. So either somebody sends a sponsor my way that wants to sponsor a bunch of content, or you guys sponsor it and I'll make it. I'll show up and work and do all of the work. I'm not doing any more. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not doing any more work ahead of time in hopes of potentially getting paid by like bulk advertising on YouTube. It's just not there. You know what I mean? So we're not doing it. I'm still making stuff. I'm still making stuff poorly, but yeah. A lot of my energy goes into fixing people's houses these days. A lot of my days go into that. Most of my days go into that, actually. We gotta delete this. We gotta delete that. We gotta delete that. Sorry, we're deleting stuff. We've got all these emails over here we gotta delete. Delete that one. Oh, actually, we need that one. That's a good email. We'll respond to that one. Wow, look at all these other emails. We don't. Oh, I know for sure we don't need that one. Oh shit! It says we're live on the channel. Oh my god, we're live on the channel. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. It is June 16th, 2025, Erd. And we have some things to talk about today, guys. Yesterday was Father's Day. Hopefully you all had a one-tiferous Father's Day. And I hope that it went well. There we go. We have to start our goal. YouTube says we have to start a goal. So there we go. We started a goal. Oh, did I share it? Does it not share it with you guys? Oh, maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe it shares it with you guys. Who knows? Okay, there we go. Anyhow, it is the day after Father's Day. Yesterday was Father's Day. Hopefully you all had a great Father's Day. I did. I had a really good one. We went to we spent all day and went to the zoo. We went to the zoo with the fam. Went to the zoo with Victoria. Went with Olivia. Went with Vicky's mom. Vicky's niece. Vicky's niece's boyfriend. The teenagers, I like to call them, the teens. The teens were there. Let me see if I can't. See if I can't find there. I don't know. Yeah, here you go. There's Olivia. Sitting on a giant Gila monster. Gila monster. Gila monster. Ugh, sitting on a Gila monster. And then they all went home. And, you know what's funny is like people, people are like, oh, it's a holiday. We got to go to like a fancy place to eat. And we're and then I was like, wait a minute, let's not do that. That seems like a waste of money. Let's just go to a place to eat. That's fine. And then somebody said, let's go to Olive Garden. And I went, okay, well, my vote's overruled now, because the Olive Garden is on the table. So It was like, okay, I guess we're going to Olive Garden, but then everybody else wanted to go home. So then we're like, all right, never mind, no Olive Garden. And eventually I asked Olivia where she wanted to go to, and there's a Chinese place that is more like old school cafeteria Chinese, if you know what I mean. And Olivia loves going there. Olivia loves going to that place. It's super laid back. It's cheap. It's good. It's locally run. It's just like a local Chinese place. And Olivia loves going there. And she's like, I want Chinese food. I want egg. What is it? The egg drop soup. And so I was like, then Chinese it is. And so we went to there. And then the girls decided that we desperately needed ice cream. We needed ice cream real bad, apparently. So we ended up getting some ice cream because we like cream jamming. That's what we like to call it around these parts. Cream jamming is when you show up at an ice cream place and eat a bunch of ice cream and then leave. That's pretty much it. It's a simple process, as it were. And yes, we were at the Woodland Park Zoo, which is a bit of a drive, but there is no zoo up north in the Northland. We used to go to Point Defiance. Point Defiance Zoo is quite nice also. Let me see. Fucking open maps, you piece of shit. I think the closest zoo is the Northwest Wildlife Sanctuary, and I don't even think that's like a zoo. I think it's literally like somebody's home project. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't even know what this is. This is ridiculous. What is this? What does it have? Where's the... Give me your website. We need the website. Wait, Victoria Bug Zoo? Oh, maybe we should go on the Victoria Clipper into Canada to go to the Victoria Bug Zoo. I don't know. The Greater Vancouver Zoo. We could go to the Greater Vancouver Zoo if we can get into Canada, which I can now get into Canada. Website. Where's your fucking website? I don't want to buy tickets. What's here? Animal spotlights. Here we go. We're going to look at the Vancouver Zoo here real quick, folks. I'll give you full. I'm going to give you the full screen. Here we go. Animal spotlights. Meet the team. Creature features. Big cats. Conservation corner. Okay. Once again, another weird website to navigate. Meet our animals. Okay. Tortoise, alpaca, Adax. Is that how you say that? Adax? I don't know how to say that. It's a African elk, basically. Flamingo. Horse, pelican, bald eagle, big horned sheep, bison, a capybara. A cheetah, donkey. A cougar, giraffe. Okay, giraffes is good. Oh my god, they have hippopotamus. Okay, now we gotta go. Because Woodland Park Zoo don't have no hippopotamus anymore. They don't have any hippopotamus anymore. Jaguar, helmeted a guinea fowl, Muscovy ducks. That seems weird to have at a zoo, but all right. Because those are outside the zoo. What else we got here? Okay, kangaroo, red fox, zebras, red river hog, reindeer. What else is interesting? Oh, snow leopard. That'd be cool. We saw a rhinoceros yesterday. We saw the Rocky Mountain goat. They don't have elephants. Okay. That's the big to-do. The big to-do was elephants. And these guys, Vancouver doesn't have elephants either. Okay. No elefantes at the Canada Zoo. Shit. Now they had elephants at the Washington D.C. Zoo. Pretty sure there's the aquarium in Vancouver also. I bet you're right. Here's a question. Have I been to this one? Fucking work. I click the button. Plan your visits. Exhibits. Nice. Okay. Sea otter cam. Can we check what's on the sea otters? What are they doing right now? What are they doing? Oh my God, they're doing sea otter stuff. They're doing sea otter stuff, guys. Look at this. Oh, there's 3. There's a guy feeding them. We showed up for feeding time. Or this is just on a loop. Who knows? It says it's live, but who knows? Guy's feeding them right when we tuned in. 1:34 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We tuned in to see the sea otters getting fed. All right, look at that. Look at that amazing sea otter experience that you could see. What else do they got? Exhibits. I heard you liked aquariums, so I put an aquarium in your aquarium. Exhibit style, right? On-site dining. Okay, guys. Look at this. There's some clear photography bullshit going on here. Look at this. We got to zoom it in. We got to enhance. 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 Zoom in. Look at this. This photographer. This food photographer should be absolutely shit canned and never work again. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. The cheese hasn't even melted. These burgers are old and dry. Pre-cooked. Pre-cooked. Pre-cooked old dry burger patties. Ugh. Pre-cooked onions. The bun isn't... Look at that. The bun isn't even toasted. The bun is not toasted, folks. The bun is not toasted. This is absolute... This is an absolute disaster of a photograph if you want us to come enjoy your dining. If you want us to come eat your food, this is the exact opposite picture you would want to post. Disgusting. And you know what? Most people won't even notice it, right? Most people won't even notice because you all ain't paying attention to the important things like I do. Anyhow, I bet the aquarium in Vancouver is lovely. It's probably awesome. I bet it's great. It's probably a lot of fun. They have axolotls, reef sharks, sea lions, octopi, monkeys. I don't know why the monkeys are in the... Oh, this is all animals. Okay. I guess they got monkeys and shit at the aquarium. How that makes sense, I don't know. They got caiman. Sloths. They have sloth. They have sloth at the aquarium. I don't know. I don't know. Does this make sense? Nope, but it's probably fun. Probably fun to go. I'd like to go. Let's go. Come on, guys. Get in the truck. We're going. Get in the truck. Crimes? What crimes? Oh, that food was crime. That food was absolute crimes. It was, oh my God. Crimes against humanity, even. All of humanity is under attack. From that picture, that food advertisement. Oh my God, my session is expired? Fuck, we gotta fix this. OMGs. OMGs. Dude. Don't reply to this email. Don't reply to this email. Don't reply to this email. Oh my God. Electric bill? Oh my God, don't reply to that. Get out of there. Okay, we'll get back over here. Anyhow. Nobody has told me how they were doing today. Nobody told me how their Father's Day went, so who the fuck knows? Nobody will ever know. Green room is open. Witchy Cat's here. What's up, dude?
Nothing much. Just sitting here enjoying not having an electric bill.
Oh shit, she's being quiet today. Are you being quiet today?
No.
Oh, there you go. You were just far away. You were like this. You were like, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just doing good. I'm chilling. Bro.
Keep the microphone, apparently. Okay.
What are you doing?
Let me stick the tablet in my mouth.
Put it in your mouth. Do it.
Maybe.
Do it.
Nope, I'll skip that. Nope. I
Put
don't
it in
get
your
paid
mouth.
by the hour.
What's that?
Said I don't get paid by the hour for that anymore. My phone sex days are past.
Oh man.
I used to make great money doing that, but
I can imagine. I can imagine back in the day they were charging people by the minute and shit. I mean, I never experienced it myself. I never called in to see what it was like. Was it good? I don't know.
It doesn't make you like men much as a female.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine. I would imagine.
Kind of unfortunate. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I can't imagine a world where that even remotely would make you.
Parts.
I mean, I guess it was probably relatively fun, you know.
I mean, funny parts. The guy with the cat that sounded like a baby all the time, and he'd get all mad when we wouldn't talk to him. He's like, "I swear it's my cat." Finally, he puts the cat up by the phone. Cat's like, meow. You're like, oh, it is a cat. Sorry.
Oh, that's weird.
But yeah. Like that. Yeah.
Bare Bottom Branton says, my Father's Day was amazing. I did nothing, which is exactly what I wanted. I'm always doing everything. Yeah, I get that. You know what? There was a small part of me that was like, oh, it's Father's Day. So Father's Day means cart everyone around and go do all of this stuff that everybody wants to do. But I did text with my dad last night that I was like, oh, hey, sorry I didn't have a chance to call you. I was at the zoo all day and was hanging with the girls, and it's late now. I don't want to talk to anybody. And he responded, that's okay. Wait, hold on. I don't want to misquote the old timer. We'll check. We'll see what he says. We'll see what he said.
Okay.
Oh, he said, you're just being a good father.
Aw.
So, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'll call you later, old man. Old man.
Old man. Did he go to a protest by chance? Did he repeat his...
I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but I think he did. It was his plan before. Because he did mention it's that fucker's birthday. He had mentioned that. He had made mention of that, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it is. It is that dude's birthday. So probably a decent day to, if you're going to protest, a decent day to protest on. And it's something that we were supposed to cover during the stream today, so we'll talk about it. We'll see what Witchy Cat has. I did tune in to some parts of the... and I watched it in fast forward, basically. To be clear, I watched parts of it. I listened to most of it, and it was literally some of the most ridiculous, poorly scripted American propaganda I've ever seen. You could easily watch a History Channel documentary. You could easily watch like a History Channel, like a History Channel, like 2-hour thing about the Battle of the Bulge, right, or whatever, and it would have been. You would have walked away with like A, more information. B, you probably would have felt more patriotic. C, the information would be way more accurate. D, the soundtrack would probably be way, way, way better than a bunch of knockoff bullshit covers of songs, so that they didn't have to play, or they didn't have to pay royalties on the songs that they were playing, because they were like, well, these are interpretations of other famous songs you've heard before. The fact that almost every minute there was an announcement of another sponsor of the military parade, which is insane. I mean, it was like, this military parade brought to you by Oracle. Like, what?
Right. And
why is this fucking sponsored and still costing $50 million? Right? The attendance was terrible. There were some reports that I've read that have not been validated in any way, shape, or form, but apparently a lot of TikTokers signed up for tickets with the intention of not showing, which is pretty typical of the year 2025 when people want to protest something. They're like, oh, you have free tickets that could be reserved. Oh, I can just do that from Nebraska. Oh, I can just do that from California. You need to reserve tickets for me and my 18 closest relatives, and then just not show up. That's a monumentally simple, easy way to troll and protest something. Like, zero effort trolling, right? The continued flyovers looked like shit. The weather sucked. The weather completely sucked. Like, why have it? They drove all over the roads in Washington, D.C., which are not ready to have tanks drive all over them. So infrastructure was ruined. We'll probably find out what the extent of that is over the next 2 months. It was a bunch of bands. Like, they had like a shitload of marching bands play. So I guess if you feel super patriotic when you hear a marching band play, that could be a big deal. And it was overall like the Trump stupid like military parade was ridiculous, which is funny because supposedly this was for the 250th anniversary of the Army, which I'm looking forward to the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps, which, by the way, is in November. What the big parade is going to be for the Marine Corps. Is there going to be a big parade for the Marine Corps in November that doesn't coincide with dipshit Orange Buffoon's birthday?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. You know, because it's cold out in November. We'll sit outside in the cold in November.
Right.
Also, not to mention, like, the fact that the National Mall has been closed for like a week to stage for this shit, which when I was in D.C. was one of the biggest reasons to even go to D.C. was to be able to walk around the National Mall, see all of our monuments, see all of our monuments to the heroes that brought us, democracy and whatnot. Adam Wing, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about in chat. What riots? What riot? What the fuck riot are you talking about? What riot? A military parade is not. A military parade is not fine. When Veterans consistently talk about the fact that the VA is underfunded, and your fucking bullshit oligarch wannabe fucking orange tan weird rapist president guy just burned $50 million that could have gone to veterans, right? Supposedly we care about the veterans, right? Supposedly we care about them. And as a matter of fact, during the parade, if you will notice, a bunch of our armed forces were protesting the parade that they were in by marching out of step. I don't know if you noticed any of that. I don't know if they would ever mention any of that on Fox News or OAN or whatever weird fucking creepy news channel you watch, where you're fucking so deeply into your own fucking coming into your own mouth all day long, that I don't know if they covered any of that. Oh, the VA is broken. The VA is broken. The fact that all of our veterans get free health care for the rest of their lives for serving for 4 years, 40 years ago is completely broken. Okay. Well, then why did your orange buffoon just burn a bunch of money that could have gone to the VA? He could have just added $50 million to the VA's budget. A $50 million would probably build a whole nother hospital somewhere. And by the way, most of the criticism that the people have of the VA being broken fundamentally comes from the fact that there can't be a VA hospital in every town in the United States. All of the veterans that I know are like, yeah, there's a bit of a waiting list. Yeah, there's a bit of this, there's a bit of that. The biggest problem with the VA is that there isn't one in town. Like, for instance, in Washington, if you're a veteran, you got to go to the big-ass VA hospital, the giant state-of-the-art hospital. It's down in Seattle. You got to drive down there. You got to park. And there isn't one in Bellingham, for instance, right? That's one of the biggest problems that the VA has. And by the way, when you got to choose your own doctor, which was, by the way, brought to you by fucking Obama, and Donald Trump tried to claim it as his own, right? Which, by the way, if you wanted to see, here's President Obama at the time signing the VA choice bill right here. And if you're wondering what freakishly weird website this is. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta delete this. I gotta make it bigger. Add source. What website is this? This is the website brought to you by the White House. Hosted by the White House. This is Barack Obama signing the VA fucking choice bill right here. The Veterans Choice Bill with fucking none other than Bernard Sanders standing right fucking next to him. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, the socialist. The socialist is standing right next to Barack Obama while he signs the Veterans Choice Bill, which, by the way, the bullshit Trump tried to fucking claim. He tried to claim this. And if you want me to go find that, I can go find that for you.
Because heaven forbid you be right-wing wacko and research.
Yeah, why would you want to research anything? Why would you want to know about anything? Okay, no wonder this channel is a flop. My channel is not a flop. I don't put any videos up on it anymore. I put up enough videos to garner 30,000 subscribers, and 30,000 subscribers isn't enough to pay the bills. It's not. So I stopped posting fucking videos on it. I do a live stream to talk to the people on Mondays. I do a live stream on Monday. If I wanted to be a live streamer and I wanted to be all in on live streaming, I would live stream every single day. That's what I would do. This channel isn't a flop. I focus on my business. And YouTube was going to be my business. But some of the people that I used to work with and for hamstrung the business deals that I helped put together to sponsor funding my channel. So is it a wonder why it's a flop? And by the way, if you wanted to know why they did that, one of the reasons that they did that was because, hey, if the people that work for them make more money, then they won't work for them anymore, and they won't be able to utilize cheap services, right? So if you ever wondered why that is, right? Yeah, that's why.
Yep.
Same reason. Oh, by the way, if anybody ever wanted to know why the affiliate program ever went away, same reason. Yeah. Oh, which is why today's live stream is brought to you by... Oh, that's pants. We don't want pants. Oh, here we go. Today's live stream is brought to you because we are an Amazon affiliate. Today's live stream is brought to you by hopefully selling some vibrators for the ladies out there. If any of the ladies out there are interested in buying a vibrator, because as we say on this channel, the female orgasm is in fact not a myth. You know, Marco Rubio and the fucking clown show conservative fucking dipshits out there would most likely try to tell you that the female orgasm is a myth. But in fact, for the low price of $24.99, if you go over to our Amazon affiliate link, you could find out if it's real or not on your own.
I've seen them in the wild.
You could do some
outside
research.
of it.
Yes, we are an Amazon affiliate. If you go buy stuff through Amazon through our links, we get a commission around here. This month, we've managed to accrue a massive, earth-shattering amount of $1.72. Oh my God, kids! Oh my God! From nobody's bought any vibrators, guys. Update to all of the fans who watch the channel here: no vibrators yet. I tell you, it is a yet. It's going to happen. Oh, D-Rock is back. What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming back. Yeah, and we are streaming an hour early today. I normally stream at 2 o'clock on Monday, so we'll probably see an influx of the 2 o'clock people showing up. If the influx of 2 o'clock people think that the female orgasm is a myth, I would urge them to click that link and do some investigatory delving.
Ooh,
Delving into your own.
Diving.
Into your own opinion, right? And also, if anybody was wanting some football safety pants, I don't know why that's included down here at the bottom. Oh my God. Like the recommended links. Our football pants.
Pants.
Get a vibrator and some football pants. Yes. Fucking do it today. Brought to you by Amazon Prime. Amazon. Speaking of Amazon, we had to go over to Amazon because one of the related questions asked by one of our longtime supporters of the channel and longtime friend Alyssa Bentley herself, one of the best fish keepers in Western Washington, was asking a question about how to cut some acrylic, and I don't see it in the YouTube chat, so it must have been on the Discord. And by the way, if you want to join up on our Discord and talk about stuff, you can become a member on YouTube, or you can become a member on Patreon, one or the other, and then you get access to our Discord where we're talking about all sorts of stuff, like cutting acrylic. These all come up. Oh, and I just got, oh my God, I just tricked myself into clicking onto a portable table saw stand. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Got to think about these things sometimes. Because if anybody knows, I have 2 table saws, and both of my table saw stands don't have wheels, and it's irritating me at this point. And DeWalt sells one that has wheels, and so I looked at it the other day. So now I get nothing but advertising about table saws stands that have wheels on them. It's like, you know, if I open up YouTube, although I have YouTube Premium, so I don't get ads. But if I open up like Google or Opera or whatever browser, I'll get a table saw stand advertisement. But Alyssa was asking about cutting acrylic, and I believe she asked about cutting acrylic like with a wet saw, which is insane. Don't cut acrylic with a wet saw. Nobody does that. Where was the question? Do you see it somewhere?
It's in YouTube.
Is it in YouTube? Oh.
Yep.
Let me scroll up here.
Just before you went.
Be cheaper than trying to track down Jason Gregory and get him to make me new tanks. True. I need a recommendation on a wet saw for cutting sheets of acrylic. Okay. First off, cutting sheets of acrylic is a pain in the ass. So the biggest thing that you're going to need first is a big flat table. You're going to need a big flat table. Dude McBoob says, dude, I like the stream so far, but I have to say your background looks like a messy meth lab. Hell yeah, it does.
Rock on.
It does. Yes. That's what goes on in here. I'm here just making meth all the time. No, but it is like a lab. So here, hold on, I'll show you. Oh my God, turn the fucking light on. Oh my God. Oh dear
Dropping shit.
Lord, what have I done?
Knocking shit.
So here you go. I'm gonna give you the rundown from over here. We have shitloads of paint brushes. We have sheets of acrylic. We have a piece of plumbing I'm working on. We actually have tabletop epoxy plumbing parts. This is. Oh my God! The alarm! The alarm! Okay. All right, we're back. All right, I turned on the light back there to give you an idea of the actual. It looks like a meth lab. I get it. There is no meth here. I've been sober for 11 years now. So not doing that, not making meth, not doing the Walter White thing, at least until I get terminal lung cancer diagnosis. If I get a terminal cancer diagnosis, then maybe the Walter White thing is on the table. Doubt it though, because most likely I would just start doing crazy shit and filming it. That's basically what would happen. I'd start doing fucking skydiving, bungee jumping. I'd be like, this motherfucking guy, I'm going to the top of 3 mountains in 3 days, and and I would film it, and somebody else would edit it, because I'm dog shit at editing these days, and so that's basically what I would do. So yeah, I mean most of everything that goes on. This is my. I don't know what you want to call it. Do you want to call it a creative space? I build stuff in here all the time. That's what I do. And I have fish tanks. I have a fish tank here. That's a fish tank. Hold on. I got to go backwards. There's a fish tank here. This is some sheets of wood that have been sitting there forever that I'm tempted to put out into my wood pile, but then it's outside, so it's going to get humid over and back and forth. So it really is one of those. I just have left it here because I don't have a rack that fits the 4x8 sheets that's inside. And if I put them outside, they're going to get humid, not humid, humid, not humid, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. They'll probably delaminate a little bit. And because these are finished cabinet plywood, they're like a little bit bigger than 3/4 inch, and they're pre-finished. You know, if they weren't pre-finished, I think I would probably not care as much, but they're clear coat and they're really nice maple ones. So I've just had them sitting there because I haven't built them into anything yet and made the video about that. But I have videos of making a bunch of this office. I made this office I did from all the way down to the studs. I did the studs, the electrical, the water, the tables. I built all these tables. I built that table over there, that big piece of wood that goes across there. I even cut the tree down that made this piece of wood, this big chunk of wood right here. I cut that tree down and we milled it. I cut 5 trees down and we milled them all in my backyard like fucking absolute hillbillies we are, which is good. We like that. Which people always wonder, it's like, you got a gun-toting fucking tree-felling, lumber-milling fucking crazy dude from Washington, and you're like, why is he such a lib-cuck? And I'm like, I'm an absolute lib-cuck because go fuck yourself. That's why, you know? And I've always talked to people, I'm like, you want me to go down the list of reasons? It's like, do you want me to be a conservative where I'm constantly telling other people what to do, right? Now, I did say go fuck yourself, but that's just a piece of nomenclature, right? You don't actually go fuck yourself. Just go masturbate or something, you know? Like if you feel like that's what you got to do. But also the weird conservatives would say like don't go masturbate because that's somehow bad because there's like a super all-powerful like bearded man who flies around in the sky. He's either Santa Claus or God or whatever, you know, whatever the fuck all that weird nonsense it is that they just made up. Right? Some guys just made some shit up, wrote it down, which is always funny because I always end up having these like these long debates with people about their goofy religion, right? And they're like, obviously it's the word of God. No one could write this. And I'm like, have you ever read The Lord of the Rings? Like, that's not even that complex. I mean, you know, it's not, I guess it is complex, but what I'm saying is that like, J.R.R. Tolkien like wrote his own language for the elves, right? And it's just a guy who just made up all this shit, right? Like, do you think there wasn't a guy before him that just made up a bunch of shit? Yeah. Joel makes the best meth. I absolutely do make the best meth if I was to do it because I'm just that good, but I don't. So no meth here. Don't even have any stuff to make meth. I'm not sure. I think you need Sudafed and something. Actually, I think you could be a body double for Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. I don't know. Hold on. Let's see who that is. Chris Kirkpatrick. I don't even. Chris Kirkpatrick. Let's check him out. Let's check out this guy. The images. Hold on, here we go. This is the claim here. The claim. We shall see.
Wow, 2 polls in one day.
Should I do another poll?
Does Joel look like this dude?
Hold on. I can see where you're coming from, but he doesn't have green eyes. And my hair's not that black. But he does have, like, you can see, he has, like, a goatee and shit, right? So I can see where you're coming from. I mean, he seems like a white guy with a goatee, you know? So I can see where you're coming from, I guess. I don't think I look incredibly dissimilar, but I don't think I look incredibly similar. I think there's just, like, hey, there's a white guy and he's got a beard, you know? Yeah. So, no hate. But he used to wear glasses, and I used to wear glasses, so maybe that's where it comes from. Yeah, it could be it. It could be it. All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that guy probably gets laid, so it could things could be desperately worse. I could be the body double of Guy Fieri, right? And then what are we going to do? Oh, my God. Just drive around and eat fucking greasy burgers.
Every time I look at Guy Fieri, I think he's who Sonic the Hedgehog was originally developed after. It's the
Guy Fieri. He just has spiky blonde hair from the 90s. You know what I mean? Like he was a guy that like existed in the 90s, and he saw like the wraparound shades and the spiky hair, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm done. I'm in it. I'm on it." You know.
Never changing again.
Now you can clickbait title this episode Fish Room Meth Lab Tour. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could. but I don't want to. I just don't care. Actually, speaking of the bearded spaghetti monster, you got to check out that shirt I just posted on Discord. A must-have. Well, let me check it out.
All right. Which one?
Shit, where did you post it though? Oh, here we go. Right in general chat. Religious war, noun. Adult people fighting about who has the best imaginary friend. Yes, there you go. Exactly. 100%. 100%. I'm 100%. I'm 100% behind people like being religious if they want, being spiritual if they want, being secular if they want, being libertarian if they want. You can be whatever it is that you want to be. But when we're talking about something like conservatism in America and the hate-filled fucking maniacal bullshit that group of people have been doing in this country for the last 300 years, we're talking about two completely different things, right? Somebody being religious versus what their organized religion has been doing, right? The fact that the Christian Bible not only highlights how to keep slaves, but who you can make into slaves, is immediately a disqualifier for me as far as a book to follow. Okay? If you're talking about the New Testament, the Old Testament, any of this shit, it all highlights how women should be subservient, which is insane to me. It highlights how other races, which is just made up bullshit, should be subservient to other races, which is just insane. And it's also a class warfare structure in the fact that the rich should lord over the poor. No matter how much people like to highlight the teachings of the air quote Jesus, in air quotes, that Jesus was somehow a guy. If you actually read any of the weird old Aramaic bullshit that guy was saying, Christianity has nothing to do with that dude was saying. They put him up on a pedestal as a figurehead of their weird ass shit that they've come up with over the last 2,000 years to oppress the fuck out of people, and it's disgusting. And yeah, I mean, I get it. And you're allowed to do it, and I'm 100% all for you. Like, you want to go to church 7 days a week and pray to your imaginary deity who is going to do something for you, like, so be it. Great. I don't care. Spend your time how you want to spend your time. But when your time is spent inflicting pain and suffering on other people, that's when I get involved and I don't want you to be able to do that. That's not good. And even just from the standpoint of, like, we don't need to talk about like other races or anything like that, but for the thousands of years that they were subjugating women who ostensibly aren't like a group of other, right? If you're married to a woman, you're in the group with her, right? And you want to subjugate the person that's in your group, in your in-group, right? You want to subjugate the person that's in your in-group is insane to me. We've lost chat. What did we do?
We've eaten it.
The fuck? The chat widget. The chat widget has freaked out. We've lost chat over here. We just have this thing that says that the widget will automatically join up, but it won't automatically join up. Did it change settings on its own or something? What the fuck happened here?
Did you drop the screen?
Automatic? Why did we lose chat? That's weird. Hold on. We'll do this. We'll go like that. We'll pop this back out. We'll go like that. Then we'll refresh this again. We'll see if this works. Nope. We broke chat. We broke chat, folks. We just eliminated the chat. I don't know. This fucking bullshit streaming program has decided to not work midstream, even after it was working. That's even fun. Witchy Cat, what'd you do? Did you push a button somewhere?
I did not. I'm not even on YouTube at this time. So
I wish you
I'm
had. I wish
innocent.
you had poked a button, and then I'd be like, "Hey, do that."
God damn it. Stop button poking. That wasn't me.
App update. Trump bought the chat widget 30 minutes ago, and it just filed bankruptcy. I like it.
Maybe it's being run through the new Trump mobile. Did you see that?
Is there Trump Mobile now?
They're launching a no contract cell service, the price for which will be $47.45 a month. It comes with free telehealth. So
To
that
who?
all of your health records can be taken freely. And
Free telehealth to who?
I don't know who the healthcare provider is. It just says that it comes with free telehealth, including mental health capabilities. So they just announced it today. My guess is they've gone, screw it. Why have Elon Musk do all this stuff? We'll just sell them phones and read all their data, and we won't even need subpoenas because we'll own all the data already.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, yeah.
I don't know why. Why would you want to do? Why would you want? I don't know.
I think we're about a press conference away from Levitt saying, well, Obama had his own phone in some stupid, misguided attempt to connect the two.
Yeah, was there an Obama phone?
You got a free phone if you were on SNAP or Medicaid.
Oh,
they gave you a free
yeah, it's
phone.
like the world's ghettoest phone.
Yeah. It was basically the jitterbug phone that they couldn't even give to elderly people. Like the boomers were like, even we know this is a bad choice.
Right.
So, yeah. But, it got people connected. And they're willing to sell you a phone for, I think it was $699 on contract or on payments if you put $100 down. So.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's Trump's New Deal. The shell company that runs his businesses while he's busy pretending to be president is doing that. So they announced it this morning, I think.
Huh. Well, that seems like a fucking stupid deal. YouTube widgets. Chat viewer. Here we go. Let's see if we can't get it to work. We'll have to just reload this whole thing.
Could just be that your computer knows that it's.
What's that?
Could just be that your computer knows it needs to go nuts at 2.
Yeah, it could be. Very well could be. See if we can't get this thing to fucking work. Why is it not working? I don't know. I deleted it and then I brought it back, but it still doesn't work. What?
Sorry, I started YouTube on my phone, and the ad's first line was, "Have you ever gone days without a bowel movement?"
I like it. Have you ever gone days?
No, you're still alive. It's not that.
Yeah, I'm still live. The chat's still live. It's just not.
Sorry.
That's weird. Why won't it?
YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's fucking just an absolute piece of shit, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably to the point where I'm going to probably have to ditch this streaming fucking program, but oh my God, there we go. It fucking came back, but it's ridiculous.
You
We gotta
can't
change.
ditch me. I'll come back to you.
What do we? How did we have this set up before? Background fill? We don't want background fill. Well, that does that. Full dynamic range? Oh, look at that. We better have full dynamic range.
Maybe Phil is the guy making mess of that.
We got to fix this. What was the... Here? Oh, here we go. Chat box. We just want the chat box to be nothing, right? Oh, here we go. Opacity, 0. Boom, there we go. Okay. And then what color do we want? Green names? Blue names? What color names? Purple names? Hot pink names?
Ooh, there you
Hot
go.
pink names for the Pride Month? There we go. You'll get hot pink names. And where is the... Gotta make it big enough to fucking read. There we go.
Are the icons tiny still?
Are the icons tiny? What do you mean?
Well, for a while there, everybody's picture was dinky, but yours.
I don't even know. I mean, it's hard to do. It's hard to deal with the pictures, right? And everybody's pictures are always tiny, so I don't know why it does that. Like, if I had written the program, I would have made the program not do that if I was in charge.
No charging, please.
Let's see if we can't find a reasonable font that doesn't look like garbage. Let's go way down here to the bottom. Pirate? Ugh. Horrible. Oh, terrible. Oh, terrible. This is another one of those streams where I just set up my stream. Right?
Fonts are an easy world to get sucked into. I have gone looking for a font for a graphic or web project and been like 3 hours later having inadvertently downloaded like 300 different fonts. Oh, I'll need that one someday. Oh, I can use that one for this. Oh,
Yeah, you're like, is it this one? Is it this one? Is it that one? I don't know. Should I make my own?
Right. It'd probably take less time.
The make my own has definitely I've definitely I've played with that over the years, and it is time consuming but also annoying. So it's both.
It's the spacing. You think it looks great, and then you put it together as a word, and you're like, how the fuck did I do that?
Yeah, like here's a good one right here. Like you can see the I, the spacing is just terrible.
Right.
So we need to find a good one here. We're getting close. We're getting closer to finding a good one. Then you'll have to check it on your phone once I settle on one.
Okay, well, let me go turn on some more bowel movement.
I mean, I could check it on my phone, but it's even more ridiculous when I'm like just playing on my phone on stream. Although we may move to a stream where I just play on my phone.
Okay, I mean, I'll sit and watch you play your game, your daily game.
Well, I can play games.
Yes, your sponsor on my not free Yahoo Premium is How to Poop Every Day.
Where you sound quiet again. Where did you go?
I had to set the computer away from me for a moment. Is that better?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. You got your own thing.
Well, no.
You get all quiet and then I just go, "Uh-huh." Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that about you.
Uh-huh.
Now, your sponsor, on your sponsor underneath your face as you search for fonts is How to Poop Every Day.
Oh. How to poop every day.
How to Poop Every Day.
Man, I don't know. I to admit I don't like any of these I don't like any of these fonts. I mean, to be clear, I have like 1,000 fonts in here, so.
Correct.
Oh, what did I
Time
do?
to
I
go
changed
find
the chat on accident.
To be fair, the chat took a shit, and now he's trying to fix it.
Yeah, now we're just here doing this. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have lots of problems trying to figure out this chat situation here. These, I don't even know, where did I get these fonts? I don't know. I think it was like free font finder or something. Well, you know, like that. Okay, that one's at least reasonable. We'll just go with that.
Font 1001.
I can't remember what it was called. There we go.
Like a bad version of Comic Sans. Oh, no, you switched out. No. Remember, I'm several seconds behind you on video. Oh,
I know.
I can read that.
Yeah, I mean, it all boils down to, like, does it look okay and is it readable is the main thing, really. You know what I mean? But Calibri is just so god-awfully bad. I mean, where's Comic Sans? We need Comic Sans. Ah, here it is. There we go.
I didn't mean to say it. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry.
What, Comic Sans? Did you say it?
I did.
What was the papyrus? That's what it was.
Oh, there you go.
Have you seen the papyrus sketch?
Yes.
Oh my god, I fucking love that. And he's so great. Like, he's the best. Here we go. Here we go.
God is a pirate. Dude.
Here we go. There it is. We should have this play on repeat. Somebody please tell me where the repeat button is. Where the fuck is it?
I do not know.
Playback speed, quality, subtitles. Watch later. Why are there so many fucking controls now that, like, you don't even know where the controls are? Loop. There it is. We'll just keep it playing just so people know what it is that we're about.
Right.
Yeah, we've gotten the chat. We've got the chat format. We've got it. We lost the widget. We lost the widget that controls the chat. I mean, and now we've got it fixed. So we're back. I'll figure out the font later. Fun fact, my registered voting party is Pirate. Sorry if I'm a little behind. Service at work is not the best. Yeah, I mean, you could file as a pirate. That's all good, you know. You know, I've had so many conversations and debates and whatnot with liberals and conservatives and libertarians and all sorts of on the spectrum, you know, and
Libertarian.
like when it comes down to it, like I'm a progressive social democrat, which means I'm not a socialist. That means that I am progressive, yes, in the fact that everyone should, by all metrics, have all of their rights to live their life without being encumbered by other people's weird shit, like checking people's genitals to use a bathroom. And I do not understand how any of you conservative freaks think that that is somehow, some way, like an appropriate like thing to vouch for. Anybody's genitals being checked before they go into the bathroom, regardless of who you are. The fact that there's this very niche argument about some dudes who have transitioned into like estrogen filled athletes, I don't care. Like, I don't care about I don't care about sports from a standpoint of like high school sports, middle school sports are all designed to be inclusive. Like the whole reason that those even exist in our public schools is for the physical activity and the learning of cooperation through competition, right? Like you're going to be on a baseball team for high school sports. The whole reason those exist is to learn how to cooperate and work together for a singular goal. And this whole idea that like the bastardization of sports because some trans people are participating in high school sports or college sports, I don't care. Just shut the fuck up. Like, and let the governing body like figure out what to do. If they have to test somebody's levels, if somebody has to be transitioned for a certain amount of time, let them figure that out, right? And this whole, people that are 100% unaffected by something, like bitching the fuck about it, they're out of their fucking minds. It's crazy. I believe that trans people exist. They are real. I believe that gay people exist. They are real. I believe that bisexual people are real. I believe that asexual people are real. And they should be granted all of the rights and respect of all of the other people. Until you become an actual criminal who, let's sit down, and if we really need to figure out like which crimes are the important ones, you know which ones are the important ones, then you should definitely lose your rights when you're committing certain crimes. But other than that, people should just be moving right along to try and get better and move forward. And when I say like I'm a social democrat, it's because I want our democracy to be expanded to the point where everybody is engaging within our system. We see the highest turnouts with the presidential election, and those turnouts are fucking abysmal. I believe this last presidential, I have WitchyCat look it up for me, but I believe this last presidential election turnout was like 60% of the voting public showed up for. It might be 62% or whatever, but that means that 40% of people didn't even get to vote, or were unenthusiastic about voting, or were stuck at work because they live in a state where you have to go to a poll, to a polling station that's 48 miles from your house, and you don't have a car and you had to go to work or whatever. I want to expand our democracy, and I also want to expand our constitutional rights. Those people out there that want to argue with me about gun rights, it's like, you got it. Gun rights should be put into place by the federal government. In fact, we should be supplied weapons. If we are supposed to be a militia and not a standing army, then the federal government should be building and supplying us with weapons, with training, with the ability to maintain the training, because if you're not shooting on a regular basis, it is an expiring it is an expiring talent, I guess, if you will, or skill, however you want to put it. We should have tax-funded shooting ranges that we're all able to go to because we're citizens. If you want to talk about the First Amendment, we should have platforms that are tax-funded, that aren't fucked with by a bunch of corporate entities. Could you imagine that there is? Could you imagine that there was a YouTube that didn't have this earning? You got to make money all the time. You can't have a YouTube channel unless you're making money, right? As illustrated by Adam earlier. Like this channel's a flop. It's like, this channel's a flop? Why is it a flop? By the standard that, like, I don't make enough money to constantly make a thing where I put on a tie and sit at a desk and tell you about whatever my opinions are. Like, okay, I guess it is a flop, right? Maybe it's a flop that I argue with people in the chat. Inspired by the fact that, like, Adam made comments like, this riot brought to you by communist Soros. And the fact that he said that the riots are fine, but a military parade isn't. And then said, I'm agreeing with you, and now you flip positions. What a joke. Okay, I didn't flip positions. Military parade is fucking bullshit. Riots are fucking bullshit. At the time, I said, what riots? What riots are you talking about? With zero return as to, like, what riots you were talking about. Which ones? Are you talking about the BLM riots because people were pissed that a black guy was murdered on fucking camera by a police officer wearing a uniform? Hey, man, I don't think riots are good, but I think it's bad that a state-sponsored fucking police officer murdered somebody on camera and stared at the cameraman while he did it. That's fucked. And so if people got fucking pissed off, and by the way, like, burned down a police station, which, by the way, is just a taxpayer fucking funded building. It's not a privately owned building.
Right. It's our building. If we want to burn it down, we...
I'm not saying burn down the police station. I'm not advocating for that. But if we're talking about it and we go, hey, why did that happen? Right? What happened here? And if you go, well, a state-funded police officer murdered a guy on camera, and people got fucking pissed, and they burned down the police station. You're like, well, I can kind of see where they're coming from there. The police station is the origin of where that guy came from that murdered the dude on camera, right? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, okay, well, I guess I could see where they're coming from, at the very least, right? Like, maybe that's why they burned it down. They wanted the police officers to stop coming out of there and murdering people on camera. Okay. And if you're talking about all of the other protests that sometimes turned violent, but by almost all estimations, even conservative estimations, like 93% of them were peaceful. If you're wondering why all of those protests happened, it's because probably people around the country have experienced personally or experienced with loved ones, the fact that the police officers have been doing that type of behavior for decade after decade after decade at this point, right? The fact that we have militarized our police force, and when people ask, like, what do you mean militarized our police force? Since the 80s, we've been selling them excess military weapons. You want to send an MRAP fucking military vehicle with police on the side of it, and then say, like, why are you saying the police force is militarized? They showed up in a military vehicle, okay? If I was to show up at your house in a military vehicle wearing a crazy fucking military uniform and carrying an assault rifle and had essentially militarized myself, and then you would ask, hey, why did you militarize yourself to show up at my house? And I'd be like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm just showing up, And the fact that our military does not train people to be police officers. Our military trains soldiers to fight war. How do you fight war? You murder the opposition. That's what war is. We train our soldiers to do that. We train them to do it very, very well. We do not train our soldiers to de-escalate. We do train our soldiers to follow a lot of rules and regulations, but they are not policing rules and regulations, right? And our police force is predominantly staffed by former military. And I think it's to the degree of like almost 50%.
Yeah, something pretty high. By the way, if Soros is paying us to protest, I want to know where my fucking check is.
Yeah, and then you want to drop bullshit about Soros in my chat and not receive some pushback from me, then I don't know, go drop Soros in somebody else's chat. And I guess that makes me a flop, right? The fact that Donald Trump tried to hire people to sit in his military parade.
On Craigslist, no less. I wonder if that was in the erotic connections or just in the general job. Sorry. Have a war fetish, big boy? Come sit in the stand. Oh, I need a life. And by the way, the non-voting portion was 36%.
Yeah, 36%. I mean, 40, sorry. It's 36%. More than a third. More than a third of American voters just didn't even vote in that. And by the way, it gets worse as you go down. So, senators, House of Representatives, to the governor, to the mayor. Like, most mayoral races in the United States get like 12% turnout. Right.
Which is ridiculous.
Which is ridiculous because the mayor affects your day-to-day life. And American voters don't show up for it. You know? Like, the mayor affects your life so much more profoundly than the president does. You know?
School board. I love the people that pick up the schools and then say they don't vote. Okay.
Yeah, so everything I'm finding here is that Donald Trump tried to hire actors to sit behind him. Oh, and here we go. In 2017, on the morning of his inauguration, a remarkable coda to Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Carrie Levine of the Center for Public Integrity found a report from the Federal Election Commission examining an underreported aspect of Trump's campaign launch. Trump's announcement, held on the lower level of the Trump Tower lobby, was framed by cheering crowds watching from the floors above. Some of the members of that crowd, it was soon reported, were apparently paid to be there. The Hollywood Reporter sussed out the evidence and email from a firm called Extra Mile, soliciting people to be paid $50 to attend an event in support of Donald Trump and an upcoming exciting announcement he will be making. So, the super famous Trump Tower, when he comes down the escalator. Right here, this stupid video. These people in the background were paid. These are all paid actors back here.
Imagine the egg on their face when they show up. Oh, is he going to announce a new Apprentice show? No, he's going to announce he's president. Wait, what? I don't want to be here for that. You already took our money. Get up there.
Right. What Levine found, though, was that there was another level of detail to those actors showing up. In short, the Trump campaign failed to pay the $12,000 bill from Gotham until about a month after a complaint had been filed with the FEC. The delay between the time Gotham was hired, June, and when it was paid, October, essentially means that Gotham floated credit to the campaign for those 4 months, potentially making it a campaign contribution. Like, this is a perfect example right here of some shit that happened in 2017 and is just brain wiped from Americans, right? Like, Americans are just like, yeah, what?
That's crazy. Every time I see pictures of Trump Tower, I am horrified by whatever his plans are for this national ballroom he's going to build at the White House.
Yeah, why is he building a ballroom at the White House? It makes no sense.
Because he's talking
If you're supposedly the president for private business and you want private businesses to do well, why aren't you holding events at private businesses then? Yeah. Answer me that question. Answer me that question as to, like, if he's supposedly the business president and he's supposedly going to make America great by promoting private businesses, why aren't we promoting the private businesses all around Washington, D.C.? There's ballrooms everywhere in Washington, D.C. But you got to put a ballroom in the White House?
Because supposedly 150 presidents have wanted one.
Apparently.
I don't remember the famous quote from Teddy Roosevelt saying, "Damn, we need a ballroom," but maybe I missed it.
D-Rock says, why is Ryan Gosling playing over the chat? You have to ask yourself the question, why isn't Ryan Gosling always playing over the chat? You should answer. You should ask yourself that question. That's really the question you should be asking yourself. That's fundamentally important. My small town in Southern California has one of those military trucks. Can get hit with a rocket launcher and landmines. Thing is crazy. Yeah. Local police needs a rocket launching repelling landmine repelling vehicle. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, if you want to talk about landmines, who do you think? Who do you think restarted producing landmines?
I bet it was us.
The Donald Trump administration, the first time around. Where is it? Let's see if we can't find it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the landmine commercial to go with the submarine commercial. Rosie the Riveter, looking for a job.
The Trump administration announced Friday, and this is February 4th, 2020. So this is like during COVID, the COVID pandemic. Do you guys remember COVID? Part of what Donald Trump was doing during COVID was overturning a ban on producing landmines, which was passed in 1997. So this is February 20th. February 4th, 2020. The Trump administration announced Friday that the United States will restart using and producing anti-personnel landmines. The decision rolls back a 2014 policy by Obama administration to ban U.S. production of anti-personnel mines and their use outside of the Korean Peninsula. It reverses years of incremental U.S. steps to align with the Ottawa Treaty banning anti-personnel landmines, which entered into force on March 1, 1999. The bill was proposed in 1997 right here. The widespread outcry over the move reflects how deeply these indiscriminate weapons have been stigmatized since 1997 when the mine ban treaty was adopted. The number of people around the world who are killed and maimed by landmines has steadily decreased from tens of thousands each year to approximately 6,800 in 2018, according to the Landmine Monitor report, International Campaign to Ban Landmines. Where the age of victims was recorded, more than half of the casualties were children, most born years, often decades, after the mines were laid. The United States has not used anti-personnel landmines since 1991 and has not exported them since 1992, has not produced them since 1997, and has destroyed millions of mines from its stockpiles. So during the COVID pandemic, right? During the COVID pandemic, February 4th, 2020, the Trump administration, knowing all well that 6,800 people were killed, over half of them being children, which, by the way, the conservatives constantly tell you that they are all about protecting children because they aren't pro-choice, right? Are advocating for producing a weapon that over half of the casualties being children, 6,800 people die every year, right? They want to bring that back. They want to bring that back. They want those numbers up, right? And you're trying to tell me that this is an administration that makes any sense, even just from this standpoint. During the COVID pandemic, this is like, what was high swing?
Well, March 2020, March 14th, 2020 was when they finally announced it was a pandemic. And then that's when everything shut down. So this is just a hair before that.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was 2019.
No.
So it popped off at the end of 2019. We just didn't know about it until March 2020.
Correct.
When did they first?
It was December of 2019 that they started recording cases of it as COVID-19. I want to say that might be a little late, but as far as the US and Europe goes, that I think is about right.
No, January 22nd. Trump says, we have it totally under control. It's one person coming from China. It's going to be just fine. January 24th, Trump praises China's handling of the coronavirus. China has been working very hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates their efforts and transparency. It will all work out well. In particular, on behalf of the American people, I want to thank President Xi. 4 days later, in January 28th, 2020, this will be the biggest national security threat you face in your presidency. This is going to be the roughest thing you face. Trump's national security advisor says to Trump. January 30th, the lack of immune protection or an existing cure or vaccine would leave Americans defenseless in the case of a full-blown coronavirus outbreak on U.S. soil. The lack of protection elevates the risk of coronavirus evolving into a full-blown pandemic, imperiling the lives of millions of Americans. Memo from Trump trade advisor Pete Navarro. Remember Pete Navarro?
Yeah.
February 2nd, 2020. We pretty much shut it down coming from China. February 7th, 2020. It's also more deadly than even your strenuous flu. This is deadly stuff. Trump, in a private interview with Bob Woodward on the Washington Post, made public on September 9th, 2020. So when was? I'm gonna make sure that we get the dates right here. February 4th. Yeah, so right here, right here. He's having an interview. He's having an interview with Bob Woodward about how this is the most strenuous flu and whatnot. And meanwhile, they're starting the reproduction of landmines right at the exact same time. How do I remember that? Because I told the fucking Livestream about it when it happened. That's how I remember.
That was before I found you. I was still in Missouri. It's so crazy. That administration, that first administration almost seems sane compared to what we're going through now.
I mean, they're equally insane.
I
I'm
know.
I'm be honest with you. They're equally insane.
I know they are. It said it just feels because the pace is so much faster this time.
No, man. This. To be clear, like this was the pace last time. It just doesn't feel like it because it's a memory. If you remember, like Trump was on TV every day doing a press conference. You remember that?
Yeah.
Every day he was doing a press conference. They're doing the same. This is the same playbook that they did originally. If you remember, they kept having to fire people because they were breaking the law.
It feels like he had fired like 2 or 3 cabinets by now. The first time around.
Yeah, which is insane. Like,
yeah,
I'm saying it's the same insane people. Their current focus is different because the Heritage Foundation is more deeply entrenched in this administration than the last one, right?
Because Stephen Miller is Nosferatu. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen Miller's a fucking ghoul. I mean, he really is. Like, there just is no other explanation for that guy. He's an absolute fucking ghoul, and you cannot convince me otherwise. How many like insane racist things I've heard that out of that guy's fucking mouth? Just and like the perfect example would be like, for some reason Americans always like the idea that that somebody just had everything figured out when they were young, right? And then never changed their opinion. So if there's an indicator that like where is the... I gotta find it. There's a rant where Stephen Miller was going insane in high school about not cleaning up and throwing things around.
Okay.
I gotta find it. Yeah, if anybody's wondering.
Here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As we turn to Stephen Miller, President Donald Trump's senior White House policy advisor. Over the weekend, Miller appeared on the major networks to defend Trump's travel ban. Speaking on the CBS program Face the Nation Sunday, Miller said Trump's authority will not be questioned.
The end result of this, though, is that our opponents, the media, and the whole world will soon see, as we begin to take further actions, that the powers of the president to protect our country are very substantial and will not be questioned.
Yeah, which is like fucking insane. By the way, this is from 2017. Right? Like that announcement from Stephen Miller was in 2017 that any of the actions that Donald Trump does should not be questioned, right? The same guy is insane, right? And he's still there. And this was the guy, this was the architect who brought us the Muslim travel ban. You guys remember that? Have you forgotten that they wanted to ban anybody that was Muslim, right? Which is essentially like, we're just trying to ban anybody that's brown from these areas, right? Like, that's all it was. Like, the abject, like, racism and insane shit, it existed in the first administration, which is why I'm so critical of the people that have voted for Trump this time around, because you know what you were going to get. Like, this is not...
Big news.
Yeah, it's not big news. This is a feature of this administration. Like, the racism is a feature. It's not a fluke. It's not like accidental. It's not incidental. It's an absolute feature of this administration. You know, is to be abject fucking psychotic racists who want to install a dictator in place. And that was from 2017. So you got to think, 8 years ago they were saying that Americans can't even question Donald Trump's authority. 8 years ago, that was their statement. I just played you for it. That was Stephen Miller, right? Out of his own words, reporting from the White House. It wasn't even like, hey, this is some behind-the-scenes interview or Bob Woodward thing on the phone or anything like that. No, he's standing in front of, he's making an announcement from the White House, right? And like this whole like abject racism, this insanity that is going on. And by the way, I want to circle back to make sure that I am making the statement that, like, fundamentally why I am opposed to these deportations is that the Salvadorian president himself stated that these prisons, the only way to get out of these prisons is in a body bag. Okay? That right there is not an implication. It's a confession that the people that are going into these jails are going to, the only way to get out is to be dead. Okay? And those people aren't going to be dead by their own volition. They're by their own, like, just age, right? Or whatever. They're going to die from the conditions of that prison. And that is intentional from the president of El Salvador. The president of the United States talked to him in the Oval Office about how he needs to build 5 more of those so that we can start sending homegrowns there, right? If there's any difference in your mind that you send somebody to a place where the only way that they're ever going to be able to get out is if they're dead, and you think that that's a difference between killing somebody or not, I got news for you, Chief. You are sentencing people to death.
Yep.
Which is no different than you just hiring somebody to shoot a gun at somebody and kill them or whatever, right? That's no different in my mind. You just have somebody else do the dirty work for you. In my mind, you're as guilty as somebody who just hires a hitman, essentially, right? So if you're sending people to this place, you're killing them, which I am personally opposed to. I'm personally opposed to murder. Maybe you're not. I don't know. But as we've seen over this weekend, this level of rhetoric has led to some of the most disgusting political violence that I have seen in my entire life. 2 legislators and their spouses were shot with the intention of murdering them by a man who had a list of 70 Democrat legislators who, by the way, now these MAGA freaks are attempting to blame it on the left again. Like, if you go on OAN and all that shit, somehow this guy was a leftist, even though he was a proud Trump supporter, a proud evangelical preacher, a proud Christian soldier, or whatever the fuck he decides to call himself, who disguised himself as a police officer and went to execute people. And once again, somehow captured by the police. Not murdered, wasn't shot to death, didn't get in a shootout. And he had already shot at the police. The police decided to apprehend him without standing on his neck for 10 minutes, right? How the fuck is any of this excusable at all? And by the way, are they going to send him to the Salvadorian prison?
Nope.
Nope. And a big reason for that is that in the United States, we process people. It's called due process. We process people. They have their time in court, and we are the person that is in charge of putting them in jail. And if we want to have a deep, long conversation about the people that are in Guantanamo, we can do that. But let's not ignore the 2.5 million people we have incarcerated in the United States already, and get distracted with talking about Guantanamo, right? Let's talk about the 2 million people that are in the prisons and facilities that we already have now. And I just read a comment in the chat. Both of my boomers voted for this idiot in chief. I struggle to let them visit with my daughter. And I feel for you, Skogs. I would have the exact same emotion. I don't know that I would want to let MAGA people around my child. And by the way, I have eliminated MAGA people from my circle of friends with Olivia because their parents are MAGA, right? I don't trust you. You're probably a child molester. You're probably down with all sorts of things, being totally fine. Okay? So I don't trust you. You got MAGA sticker, you got a MAGA hat, you got a MAGA flag. I don't trust you. You're not hanging around my daughter. It's not happening. I don't trust your kid either. I don't trust your child because you probably mistreated your child. Is that unfounded? Nope. It's not unfounded. The higher propensity of child abuse coming from church leaders themselves. If you want to talk about a trickle-down effect, that's a trickle-down effect.
Yep. Abuse victims have a higher rate of becoming abusers.
Yeah, much higher rate. And so, yeah, I eliminate those people. And by the way, that's why I have confrontational conversations with people that are going to be in my circle, right? You want to spend a Thursday night with me and my kid and my spouse and your kids, and they're all playing together, right? And you got a fucking Nazi armband on underneath your jacket because you don't want me to know about it, right? Mm-hmm. I find out about it, fuck you, you're out. You are jettisoned to the fucking moon as far as I'm concerned, right? So if somebody was wearing a Third Reich uniform, would you want them hanging out with your children? I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? But this MAGA group is housing the current Fourth Reich, right? Like the next iteration of the Third Reich. So yeah, you don't get to be around my kid. You don't get to be around my family. Fuck you. You're out. You're done. You're done here. Yep. And if people think that that's rude, okay. You're allowed to think it's rude. That's fine. But you're not allowed to hang around me. And you're not allowed to hang around my kids. And by the way, one of the biggest reasons that boomers have consistently the entirety of my life said, we can't talk about politics, we can't talk about religion, we can't talk about income, and we can't talk about sexuality. Those reasons that they stop those conversations is because as soon as you start to have a conversation with them about those things, you will suddenly start to realize, like, wait a minute. You agree with the Third Reich more than you agree with America and Americans and American values, true American values of freedom and democracy and the ability to have rights. To watch that group of people the entirety of my life erode unions, erode our rights. How many times did I protest during the George W. Bush administration with all of his insane Patriot Acts and all of the crazy stuff that they put into place? It didn't do anything. That's the reason I didn't march this weekend, because it didn't do anything, right? It didn't matter how many times we marched against the World Trade Organization, right? If you want to see the WTO air quote riots, by the way, which they were always categorized as they're categorized as riots, even though the World Trade Organization has done more damage to this planet than any group of people protesting them has ever done. But they will always be categorized as a riot. In 1999, the Seattle WTO protests, sometimes referred to as the Battle in Seattle, were a series of anti-globalization protests surrounding the World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference of 1999, where members of the World Trade Organization convened at the Washington State Convention and Trade Center in Seattle, Washington, on November 30th, 1999. The conference was to be the launch of a new millennial round of trade negotiations. These fucking clowns, the World Trade Organization, it didn't matter how many people were arrested. It didn't matter how many people spoke up about this. It didn't matter how many times people attempted to stop any of this. This was 1999. This is my heyday right here. The World Trade Organization continued on in order to oppress the populations of the world, right? And it has worked. It worked. They continued to do it because we were unable to have conversations like, hey, if you think the Nazis were right, you're the fuck out. You can still live here. You're not a part of our community anymore. Right? Like we're not going to accept people who have these values, right? But boomers have always been saying we can't have those conversations, and this is why. This is why. Because when you realistically start to learn what a lot of these people actually think, because you have a long conversation with them, a back and forth, where you can actually analyze what they're saying, delve into what it is and where it is that they're coming from, and you start to realize, like, this is a disgusting person. And this happens to be somebody I've known the entirety of my life, right? Boomers don't want to have that conversation because they know what side they're on. They know what side of history they're going to end up on, right? And these people voted for fucking Trump. Now we're having to deal with this young group of people who have been essentially ostracized by the internet, manipulating the fuck out of them the entirety of their lives. They're not having personal relationships with each other. They're isolated like nobody has ever been isolated before. The fact that it is much easier to have a relationship with ChatGPT, pornography, and playing a video game than it is to actually like go meet a girl, for instance. The young men in the United States are turning into the next version of these people, right? The boomers were ostracized by religion, by propaganda, and by this false idea of nationalism. And here we are with Gen Z. Is it Gen Z or Gen Alpha? I'm not sure what the age ranges are, but that is happening to this generation of men because of the manipulation that is happening, right? And a lot of it has to do with like algorithms, for instance, right? It's like, and I'm going to circle back to the beginning where Adam got mad because this channel has really gone downhill, right? And I've highlighted his comments and I've talked about his comments. This channel has gone downhill because I don't post new content every single day because I can't keep up with AI posted fucking trash videos. I can't keep up with NBC posting 30 videos a day with clips with people like fucking Brad Pitt or who's the guy that plays Mandalorian? Pedro Pascal. I can't keep up with that. I can't keep up with the fact that every single fucking channel seemingly on this platform nowadays posts 13 shorts a day, 5 8-minute videos, most of it just AI fucking slop, in order to attempt to indoctrinate a young group of men who are more isolated than anybody has ever been in the history of mankind. Right. I also don't want to try to keep up with corporations that are producing some of the sloppiest fucking YouTube garbage I've seen ever. Is it top 10 fish for a 20-gallon aquarium? Is it unboxing a bunch of bullshit that I ordered from China? Is it I made a new pond out of a flower pot that I got from the store, right? Is it any number of things like that that are just never ending, realistically?
Well, it's the same stuff, just recycled constantly. Like, how many top 10 nanofish does the world, need? Can we maybe narrow it down to the top 10 and go from there?
Hold on a minute.
I figured.
All right. Either way. Sorry, somebody was trying to attack me. So I needed to find my alliance and be like, hey, smash them the fuck up. Top 10 nanofish. Recently, I was introduced to darter tetras. They look and act like gobies. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I was highlighting some of that stuff, and it's like one of the big reasons that I didn't want to continue down this YouTube path is that, like, I'm realistically in a competition with corporations, companies, lazy creators, AI. Like, I'm in competition with AI now because, and like, let me give you an example here. I'll actually just show you how people do this. New chat. Let's go to ChatGPT here. And the thing is, people ask me, like, do I use ChatGPT? Yeah, to title my stream, because it's faster than me figuring out what is, like, cool on the internet, right? Write me a 10-minute script for a video about what should we write it about? Aquariums. Oops, I put a space in there. It would know that I put a space in there, though. And what are the most popular
Aquarium plant.
Watch. Here's the script. Oh, we lost chat.
Again?
I don't know. It just popped out. I don't know. It's probably got to do with my RAM, if you recall. We have issues with running out of RAM. Anyhow. But here's the example of what I'm competing with. Like, here's the script. This took, what, 10 seconds to produce? Hey, folks, welcome back to the channel. If you love aquariums, nature, and the strange beauty of keeping your own underwater worlds, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the wonderful world of freshwater aquariums, and more importantly, we're going to break down the most popular fish you'll see in tanks all over the world. Whether you're just getting started or you're planning your next big community tank, these fish have earned their spot at the top for good reason: beauty, behavior, and ease of care. Host to the camera. Let's start with a quick reminder. Freshwater aquariums are more accessible, more affordable, and more forgiving than saltwater setups. You can build a thriving ecosystem with relatively simple equipment: heater, filter, substrate, and live plants. Cuts to visual: aquarium heater, sponge filter, aquascape tank. Host, voiceover. When choosing fish, it's not just about looks. Think about compatibility, tank size, water parameters, and your maintenance routine. Now, let's meet the stars of the tank. Number 1, betta fish, the betta splendens. Footage of vibrant bettas flaring around and swimming solo. Which, by the way, you could just have AI make them. First up, the dramatic solo artist, the betta. Known for their vivid colors and flowing fins, they're the best kept alone unless you know how to pair them with peaceful tank mates. Low maintenance, but full of personality. Number 2, neon tetras. Neon tetras are the little jewels of the aquarium world. Peaceful, cheap, and best in schools of 6 or more. They're ideal for small to medium tanks. Guppies. Guppies are classic, hardy, endlessly colorful. Oh, all right, hold on. And then, do you like this personality, right? You can literally just have it do like a whole different personality for you. Okay. Rewrite this for guppies only, right? Only guppies. Sure, here's a 10-minute YouTube video script focused entirely on guppies, tailored for a channel like Corvus Oscen, with a blend of education, passion, and casual storytelling. The version emphasizes the beauty, behavior, and care of guppies, which, while appealing to both new and experienced aquarists. Guppies 101, the ultimate guide to keeping and breeding these underwater gems. That's the title. This is the most searchable title right here. Scene, host in front of a planted guppy tank, casual and welcoming. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, which by the way is the beginning of every YouTube video, of course. Welcome back to the channel, which by the way, why would you need to put that in your video? Because it takes up time. And everyone knows, oh, I'm watching a YouTube channel now. Okay. Even though you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, clicked on it. You clicked on it, and you're on YouTube. You're on the app, but you got to say, hey, everyone, welcome back to the channel. You know why? Because that takes 5 seconds, and it's 5 seconds of viewing that people will watch. And viewing time is the only thing that matters, because it's more time for advertisers to advertise to you. Today, we're zoning in on one of the most iconic freshwater fish of all time, the guppy. They're flashy, they're fast, and they reproduce faster than a bad idea on the internet. Everybody, we got fucking jokes. Oh my God. Guppies are small, but they pack a punch when it comes to color, personality, and sheer variety. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned tank keeper, guppies can be a joy or a wild science experiment if you're not ready.
What?
Guppies have been kept in home aquariums since the early 1900s. The 1900s, guys. Originally from South America, they've been selectively bred into just about every color and tail shape you can imagine. They're cheap, hardy, and incredibly easy to care for. But more than that, they're beautiful. You can build a whole tank just around these little swimmers and never get bored. Section 2, behavior and tank setup. Here we go. Should we check the behavior and tank setup? Guppies are active and social. They prefer groups, so keep them in trios or more. Males are more colorful, but can pester females constantly. That's why we follow the golden rule. Hey guys, it's the golden rule. 2 to 3 females for every male. 2 girls for every boy. Right? You remember that? You remember that on the Beach Boys? That motherfucker just
that our
died. Wasn't that the Beach Boys? I don't know. Who gives a fuck?
Yes.
3 girls for every boy. 3 girls for every boy. I don't have my drum kit here. Sorry. I don't have my drum kit here.
Why not?
Okay. I don't,
There's no room for it, so-
because I don't. That's why. A 10-gallon tank is the bare minimum, but if you're going to keep multiple guppies, especially if you want to breed them, go bigger. And a sponge filter for gentle flow. A heater set to around 76 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and plenty of hiding spots. Show a planted guppy with a guppy tank with driftwood, java moss, hornwort, etc. Guppies love swimming room, but also appreciate calm zones where females can escape attention and fry can hide. Section 3, feeding guppies right. Guppies will eat just about anything, but if you want vibrant colors and healthy fry, go beyond flakes. Mix in baby brine shrimp. It better be frozen from a store, by the way. Daphnia, it better be frozen from a store, by the way. High-protein pellets better be sold to you from a store, by the way. And spirulina-based foods from a store, obviously. Sponsored by fucking Petco or whatever. Feed small amounts 1 to 2 times per day, which is insane. That's terrible advice. Why would you feed that much to your guppies unless they are babies? But let's just throw it in there. AI slop. Here we go. Overfeeding is the #1 beginner mistake.
Which is why you should feed them.
1 to 2 feeding a day is generally overfeeding, but whatever. That's fine. Now here's the thing about guppies. Section 4, the breeding. Here's the thing about guppies. You put males and females together, they will breed constantly like clockwork just because I said it. Female guppies can store sperm and have multiple batches of babies from a single male, up to 30 plus fry for every 30 days. It can get overwhelming fast. Overlay graphic life cycle of a guppy from fry to adult. I need to watch this. Watch this part.
I'll watch it later.
Jesus.
Is it overly graphic fry 11 or guppy 11? Guppy 11.
Hold on, we're gonna have Chat GPT. Oh, lots of people are creating images right now. By the way, we're burning down the rainforest just a little bit at a time by running this like hella inefficient program too. By the way, we've lost our chat, so we have to open it up over here manually. My favorite thing is, do we have a 5-gallon tank? What should I get? Me, a beta, or 5 endlers? Only guppies. Coming soon to a webpage near your eyeballs. Yeah. But those are so small, they say. It's a small tank, I reply. This is kind of nonsense. Exactly why I stick around. Worth every penny. Yeah. Sponsored by Hikari. That's right. Anyhow, if this stupid fucking program would work like it normally does, but I could go over to a different program, but it will make that image just stolen from all of the other images on the internet. It'll just make it. It'll just make it for us. Why does my hand... Oh, it's because this fucking overlay is hanging over the edge. But it will make that overlay for us. Oh, here it is. There we go. There's our overlay. The life cycle of a guppy. Look, we just made it. There we go. We made it. We made this that will go in the video. Right? We made this. We'll just pop it in the video. We'll copy paste it. We'll just post it into the timeline. Look, like life cycle of a guppy. It's born, it's a fry, and it's adult. And then we put this in our YouTube video, which I guarantee you this is stolen from a conglomerate of other artists on the internet. Whereas I would realistically want to take my time to make my own life cycle of a guppy thing if I was going to make it. But that's going to take hours. And this took 20 seconds or 30 seconds or 40 seconds, however many seconds that was. I wasn't counting and keeping track. And then we'll pop that in the video. Boom, we're good. Now we go back. We go back up here and we go to make our video here. Yeah, here we go. Host. If you want to raise the fry, separate them into a nursery tank or heavily plant your main tank. Java moss, water wisteria, and floating plants help fry survive and hide. Optional Optional B-roll, netting out fry for use in a breeder box. Within 3 months, those babies will be breeding themselves. So yeah, plan ahead. So yeah, guys, plan ahead. Guppy genetics and selective breeding. Guppies are one of the most fun fish to selectively breed. The most fun fish.
There's another top 10 list.
To selectively breed. Another top 10? What do you got?
Top 10 most fun fish.
To selectively breed. Yeah.
Yes, selectively breed.
Here we go. We copy this. We pop it down here. Fine. Control V. What? Control V. Oh shit! We didn't copy that. That's why.
And by the way, guys, we could kill some more of the rainforest and make it talk exactly like Joel as it reads the Chat GPT.
Yeah, which is funny.
Deck.
Here we go. Absolutely. Here's a 10-minute YouTube video script titled "The Most Fun Fish to Selectively Breed: Top Picks for Aquarists." Here we go. Hey, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, guys. We changed it up. We changed the intro. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're back on the fucking YouTube channel.
From hell. I mean,
What is it?
here.
What is it today? Today we're talking about one of the most satisfying parts of the freshwater fish keeping hobby: selective breeding. You don't need a degree in genetics to do it. You just need patience and observation and a passion for pescado. I mean fish. I don't know. Sometimes you throw in Spanish words. Selective breeding lets you play with color, shape, behavior, and even fin length. And today I'll show you the most fun fish to breed. Blah, 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 blah. Guppies, betta, Ender's live bearers, apistogramma, crebensis,
Okay.
shrimp and snails.
Those aren't okay fish technically, but sure.
That's a bonus section. It says bonus mention. Bonus mention, right? Minute 6:15 to 7:30, right? So like, I the only reason I'm even bringing this up is like because I'm in competition with people that just use 100% AI tools to do that all day, every day, right? And one of the big problems is that like one of the big problems is that like, oh, I'm supposed to make 10 different YouTube channels, one for construction stuff, one for painting paintings, one for building fish tanks, one for working on photography. I'm supposed to build, one for the beekeeping, right? Like I did a shitload of beekeeping stuff on Saturday, and I have filmed a bunch of the beekeeping stuff, and I started making it into a video, and then I realized 900 people, or so hold on, let me see here. Let's go do my channel content videos. How many views did this get? Deception Falls hike was the last one. Yeah, I have to make a hiking channel because we need a hiking channel. But this was the last video that I published that was like sort of a made video, and it was about hiking around Deception Falls, which is really cool to me.
Very lovely.
It's a really accessible hike. Just about anybody could do it. If I had my wheelchair bound mother-in-law, she could make it. It got 497 views. It hasn't received a view in. Oh, where's the analytics? There it is. Nobody is what? Oh no, actually, it received one view in the last 48 hours. So it's going to go up to 498. If we could actually look and see how many people have watched it. Anyhow, regardless of that, But this is a perfect example of people are like, well, why aren't you making shitloads of videos? And it's like, at the very least, it took me time to drive to Deception Falls. Now I happen to be driving there on my own. But instead of just going on a hike by myself, it's a very easy hike too. There's nothing, but it is good to go out and do little hikes like that. Instead of going on my own, I took the camera and I talked to the camera the whole time on the hike. Then I got home and I edited the video and I made a thumbnail for it. And I posted the products down below it, like a hiking boot. I posted the t-shirt products. I double edited it to make sure I didn't say fuck or shit or cunt or dick balls or whatever, so that it would be advertiser friendly. It's a fun little video where I just show you some stuff. And if you're not from Washington, you probably have never been to Deception Falls hike. And I feel like it's fairly interesting, at the very least, from somebody that I'd be like, hey, I know that guy. Let me watch that video. But it got 497 views since last year. I made $1.66, which will be taxed at 39% because I am a independent creator, and YouTube will take their cut. Which I believe, because my account is the age that it is, I've been on YouTube for so long that I believe the take is 15% or 20% or whatever. It's higher for newer channels, right? But we're talking about de facto having made probably 60 cents. And I would be like, I would love to see what anybody who like watches this live stream, like how much work would you do for 60 cents, right? Like even if I was to like, let me do the math here. Hold on. Calculator. 0.6. I was going to do this in my head and I was going to get it wrong, so I'm just using this. So if you made 60 cents a minute, you make $36 an hour. So anybody out there that makes $36 an hour, I would really like to see what it is that you would do in 1 minute work-wise. This video is 13 minutes and 30 seconds long. So you couldn't even record this video in a minute. If you made $18 an hour, this would be 2 minutes of work. Once again, it's 13 minutes long. Even just processing to render the video so that it's in an acceptable format to be uploaded to YouTube will take longer than 2 minutes. So you wouldn't even be able to render this video in that amount of time, right? And now the widget doesn't work. So the chat doesn't work. Which is like just another example of like, I pay for this software so that we could just stream and have the chat work and like do overlays and like post things on here. But the chat has broken twice during the live stream. Am I supposed to pay somebody more money now? I don't know. But that's where we're at, you know? The reality is like, I play a video game with a bunch of people that I probably generally pay like $5 every other day, a charge-wise, right? Because it's kind of a pay-to-play game, you know? And we've lost all our viewers anyhow, so might as well end the stream today. But it's just like, what like, what am I supposed to do? That, I mean, that's why, one of the biggest reasons why I stopped, because like I'm in competition with the AI slop bot fucking garbage, right? Like, and as Witchy Cat pointed out, you can put my voice into a voice emulator and then put that script in there, and it'll read the script off, and then I could just take raw footage from my fish tanks and just post it in there, and then just post that shit 30 times a day. Like, we really could just farm that and just do that, and eventually some of those videos will make money on accident, because people like accidentally watch them. Right? And like, we're headed in the world of like the dead internet. So one of the reasons why I wanted to start doing this like live stream content and shit is because like there just is only a limited amount of time in the day, right? And so you feel like there is a value to the fact that like I'm going to come on and I'm going to stream for like a couple hours, right? And those couple of hours are actually a couple hours of content of me like interacting, right? So I necessarily think that that's like more valuable for the people that are watching this channel. I don't know if people have noticed over the years here that like, if people ask a fish question, I will go down the realm of answering that. Alyssa was asking about cutting and building her own aquariums earlier, and that's really going to take a long time. But the easiest way to explain that is that you need a saw with an acrylic cutting blade that is going to spin at high enough speed. It's all about speed and lots of teeth in your saw blade. So you're going to have to find something like, hold on.
And a large flat table. A lot of coins.
So you're going to have to find a specialty saw blade. Like this one right here. Hold on. That was maybe not the right one. Doodle-doop, doodle-doop, doodle-doop. Yep, here it is right here. So there's this blade right here. This one is an 80 tooth blade. It's for plexiglass and plastics. But I have had better experience with the second one that I will post here into the chat. And by the way, these are Amazon affiliate links. If I sell something and somebody buys it, I get a commission. Take that, Federal Trade Commission.
In your eye.
Get link. Load it. Load the button. And the button should load. And there's the button. And we've copied it. I have had more success with getting clean cuts from a 120 tooth blade versus the 80 tooth blade. But your success will vary. It does have a lot to do with the RPM, the fucking rotations per minute, RPM. Fuck, there we go. How many rotations, RPM per minute, right? High speed, lots of teeth, and making sure that you are moving at a speed in which you don't gunk up the cutting spot with it getting too hot. So the reason that you are high speed and lots of teeth is it's making lots and lots and lots of little cuts to extrude and get away, so that you don't gunk up and get a pile of hot, molten acrylic right where it's at. I don't know of a lot of people that you mentioned that earlier where you were like to cut with water. I don't know of people cutting acrylic with including water.
I think maybe I
So we're
saw
going to look that up real quick.
from Joey. stage cutting things with water early on, but
The what?
that was. That I think I saw something from Joey cutting acrylic with water, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, so Tap Plastics is a huge acrylic cutting company. They cut acrylic all the time, every day, 7 days a week, for tons of clients, thousands and thousands of clients, and I have never seen them utilize water while cutting their acrylic. I get the idea that it will cool it off. It's how you cut tile and glass and any number of things, but sort of like ceramic. But I have yet to see anybody do that at a professional in a professional way. Any recommendations for a lid for a 20-gallon long so the typical Aqueon hinged lid doesn't get in the way of my light? You know what? I don't have any good answers for lids. I don't run lids on anything. I hate lids. They get moldy. They get what do you call that? Dew? Humidity, dew? What do you call that? Condensation. They get condensation all over them. They get mold all over them. They get dusty as fuck. They just have everything I don't like. So I go out of my way to not have lids. So I don't have a good explanation for that. And my experience from traveling the world and looking at fish tanks, and whether it be from private to business applications and all in between, I have yet to see a lid that I actually went like, fuck yeah, that's a good one. Other than a lid that was made out of essentially fishing wire. It's like a shitload of strands of fishing wire. I don't know who the fuck makes it. It had more to do with like stopping fish from jumping out of the tank than keeping the humidity down, right? So yeah, I've never had a lid situation that was great. You know, maybe I could just order my acrylic pre-cut from Tap. Yes, but you will have an issue with they will not give you the exact cuts. If you are building an aquarium, they won't, because they're operating in a variance of error that will be more than your expectation for them to perfectly fit together to build an aquarium. So, but essentially, if you have like, hey, I need a bunch of this shape and it needs to be this size, then they'll definitely do a pretty good job of it. Yeah. What does that even look like? It looks like a lid with a shitload of crisscrossed fishing wire. Hold on.
Basically a fish wire screen.
See if I can't find one. Is it a Imaginarium? Imaginarium? Yeah, it's kind of it. Sort of. Holy fuck, my computer is so mad that I opened this webpage.
Uh-oh. The orange,
Yeah, it's so, hold on, it's a variation on this. And I saw it, I think in Germany. I don't even fucking know where I saw it. Netherlands, maybe. It's a variation on this, which is like this. This right here is like an extruded screen, right? So you can see like the plastic is connected at all the joints. I guess I got to zoom in. But instead of them being connected, they were all individual pieces of, fishing floss, essentially, like fishing line, right? And so it's basically like it's going to keep anything from falling in there. They were like much closer together though, right? So, I mean, it was cool, but like I said, I hate lids. I think that they suck, and I don't like them. So there's somebody. It looks like there's a lot of best mesh lids DIY aquarium. I don't know. There's a shitload of videos. They're probably all bot. Probably all bot videos. Let's see.
I got a text message from them about 2 months ago now, I'd say. And it finally arrived.
Let's see if this guy...
I'm going to teach you how to build.
I'm going to teach you how to build stuff. Yeah, here you go. Here's a perfect example of a decent YouTuber, right? This guy, decent YouTuber, right? Look at all this. Shitloads of content. Shitloads of content. Loads of content. Hang on back, all in one. Canister and sump. Week 19, how a saltwater aquarium filtration works. How to set up a refugium. Essential equipment, what to buy. Laziness led to mass leak, and I set up my seahorse macroalgae tank. So much to do and so little time. There's like loads of videos, shitloads of videos, tons of videos, videos for days, videos forever. Similar subscriber counts, close to 30,000 subscribers. It's actually like right on the spot, 29.4. Exact same size channel. Hasn't uploaded anything in 4 years. Right?
There you go.
His website. Is his website still active? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if it's still... Is it still active? I don't know. I don't know if this website is still active, but it's still up.
Right.
But this is a perfect example. Somebody who obviously cares a lot about fish tanks, was making a ton of content. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, it's been 3 years.
I honestly don't know where to start. I haven't made a video since, wait, I wrote it down. March 8th, 2022. So it is almost 3 years since I published a video at my first fish tank. So why I stopped making videos. The long and the short of why I stopped making videos is I was just too busy, and making videos is a very creative enterprise, and it takes a lot of energy to create something new every single week. And all of my energy has been and still is going to my primary work. So I was having to make videos on the weekends or time off, take vacation days just to make videos, and it just got too much and too tiring. And to be honest, there's a lot of other things I love. I love fish tanks, don't get me wrong. Like, you can see couple of my fish tanks here, I got another one over there. But when I spend all day working and thinking about and planning and doing fish tank stuff, it doesn't leave time for any of my other hobbies and any other things that I love. I love reading, collecting One Piece, I love traveling.
There you go. So I mean, it's the exact same story that, like, it's obvious that this guy, I've never even seen this guy. I don't know who the fuck he is. I don't know anything about him. I've never met him. Don't know who he is. An aquarium creator. And a bunch of, like, a shitload of positive comments from people with his, like, 3 years, 4 years later, that from this video, right? But this is a perfect example of, like, it's like, hey, I've got all these other hobbies and I can't do any other hobbies. And here's the reality is that, like, for this guy, it is a hobby. It never became a job for him. right? Because obviously he would keep doing it if it had become his job, but he's referring to it as his hobby, right? He's like, hey, there's this hobby thing that I do, you know, and it's the exact same thing, is that like I would constantly be making content for you guys, like if it was my job, but like my job is I got to go build houses and shit for people, you know, like, so I feel like this is the best way to utilize like some of my available time, and it's because my available time is not large. But speaking of that, my available time is not large, which means I gotta go. It's almost 4:00, and we did 3 hours today. Some people hit the like button, some people did the whatever, but you know, appreciate everybody for coming out. Just Skog, Alyssa, Lady Guinevere, Mickham, you know, everybody. Zip Gun. I appreciate all you guys, and I love us being a part of a community, and I'm gonna keep being a part of the community as much as I can. Yeah.